by the secure network. Okay, so this is called Swift network. Okay, so in Swift networks it is mainly identify a Swift code, or you can say bank identifier code or business identifier code here. So this button network is almost 8 digit to 11 characters depending on the how situation is that. For example, in India SBIN, and in SBI means State Bank of India is 4 characters. In for India, B for that particular locality, 0 1 for is country, and this is for branch code. Okay, so like this head office and all this. So this is the um, you how do you pronounce this Swift code for basic payment? Okay, for CBPR countries, and it is joined by a network called SwiftNet. Okay, that's the, and it is secured IP protocol. There is no activities happen till date that this has been breached by someone, and anybody can have loss from this. That's the one good thing about this Swift network. And yesterday we have discussed about there are various Swift rules are there. Those Swift rules are used for your networking rules. For example, in MT103 you must be aware of Prakash this one. If 55 is present, then 53 54 must be present. This is one of the rules. Like this there are thousands of rules, but just for showcasing you that what are the different rules are there, this is important to know what are the rules are here. Okay, and this is derived by a PMPG guidelines. Okay, so this is one. Okay, there is we discussed yesterday about there are different parts of payment system like messaging, clearing, and settlement. Okay, messaging we are going to discuss in detail. We talk of empty message and MX, but clearing is mentioned here. There are two types of clearing: is netting and RTGS, real-time gross settlement. In netting, a difference between happened between settlement of two bank is been calculated, and that only transferred here. For example, bank A want to send bank B 7 million, bank B to be 5 million. So only difference of that 2 million has been transferred from bank A to B. So this concept is called netting. So here are two banks are involved, it's called bilateral netting. If multiple banks are involved, called multilateral netting. There is a clearing house in between that who do this calculation, and it is send instruction to the central bank of, okay, settlement system, who do this actual transfer. So this is called your network of multilateral paymenting house. Okay, and it is handled by CSM, so it's called clearing settlement system. This is called clearing house, this is called settlement. In India this is performed by RBI. There are different entities are present in different kind of a world who do this calculation, who do this performance. We are going to see one by one them in coming sessions. Okay, just now we discussed there is another type of RTGS is real time gross settlement, where is no netting is happened. Whatever the amount is sent from institution 1 to win, it directly sent. For example, 7 million is directly sent to the other beneficiary, and 5 million from other beneficiary to creditor, but there is no netting happen. Okay, this is a real time gross settlement system is happening currently in India as well. We are sending by NEFT, net transfer, or real time gross settlement. So this is also one of the type of settling the payment. Okay, there is a network called Swift network. In Swift network we are having so many banks connected to each other with a, you can see a thread is mentioned, is called Swift net. Okay, so Swift net is just connecting to all the banks in the world, not only in India. Another 95% of the bank in the world are connected by the Swift network, and there is a clearing house of individual countries, for example RBI or Fedwire. So those two do the clearing of the Bank of England, for example, in UK. Those. So we have to understand. We also understand here that Swift only carrying the messages, but it will not do settlement and clearing. Settlement and clearing is done by the individual countries, organization, or banks, or regulatory bodies. Okay, it is not done by the Swift. Swift is just a passing the message of the data, and based on the data, the decision has been taken by country's regulation. Okay, then we have discussed about the initially that which part we are going to study. We are going to study of Swift messages of MT and MX. Other parts are not legacy systems, they are not going to be used in currently, they currently use, but still they will not going to use in coming months. So there are different messaging systems, only one Swift, SEPA also there, but SEPA is converting to ISO 222. Then we discuss about message processing and clearing system, chips in USA, step 1, step 2, and Euro in SEPA. So these are the three systems. You can say RBI also there in who is doing clearing of the processing. Then settlement is done by the USA, and settlement is done by the target 2 as well in Europe. Okay, And all these three things will do together by one of the country's specification like chaps and fedwire, who can send messaging also, clearing also, settlement also. So messaging is very famous in mainframe based system is chaps in UK and fedwire in your USA. So fedwire messages are very critical and different, so we are going to replace that also with ISO 222. So Prakash, is there is just very basic things, you already aware of this, and yesterday we have discussed on this, and there is a detailed video I have prepared yesterday for this of 1 hour, more than 1 hour. I will share you the link, you can go through it also, and we'll take a, if you're not comfortable with that, we'll discuss also in more. Okay, for this one, this is very basic thing, that's
For
why.
this part, sorry, so for this part, I don't need. I can manage this one. This
Understood.
I have aware of this. Yeah,
Understood.
I have aware of that.
Good. Thank you. Okay. Then we already discussed about Nostro Vostro main account. You also aware of this. Then we are going to discuss about category 1 messages, category 2 messages, and what are the different messaging systems. Okay. So those are the systems we are going to discuss: series 1, series 2, and series 9. So these are the three important systems we are going to discuss in our coming sessions. Okay, how these three messages look like, also we are going to see in detail way what is the structure of empty messages like basic header, application header. Anyways, we are going to see in detail this as well in coming session. I have separate session for empty format of this one. Okay, this contain basic header, application header, blocks, when this everything we are going to discuss in detail main each and every field, and this is also example of empty one of the message we have discussed yesterday. Okay. Okay, this is universal banking concept. We will discuss this once we are finished with all the sessions yesterday of this one. So from today we are going to discuss on another basic concept of payment processing. So that we are going to discuss from today what are the different concept of payment processing. Okay, so from that we are going to discuss whenever is payment is processed, what are the things come into the picture, that we are going to discuss today, especially when we are sending a payment, right? So we are only sometimes we only consider only a sending party, receiving party, and bank, but apart from this, inside any payment engine like GPP or FlexCube or um, Finacle, okay, these are the products of each company. So inside that, what is the mechanism they have put inside, so that we are going to discuss from today. So for this is the main agenda of today's discussion, which things we are doing. So apart from fund transfer activity, that is part of payment transaction life cycle, below are the set of things which we are going to discuss. For example, accounting and reconciliation. Okay, so when you are sending the payment from India to UK, I am going to give example always India to UK because it's very easy to understand. So when you are sending payment from India, right? So what happened that there is a debit nostro happen, vostro with credit in the other bank. Okay, and accounting postings are minus here plus there. Sorry, and between that reconciliation happen. So this is one of the main thing always happening when we are going to see an example as well once we are moved to the next slide. Then we have cash management, means actual movement of fund of transfer between two parties, so that how can that is been handled. Then there is fees and charges. No bank will do your thing transaction for free. Like UPI is currently free, but like other banks like Swift Bank is very costly. To get a license itself is very costly for each and every bank for Swift. So they are not giving this service for free. They have their charges involved in that for 6 months. Apart from this, there is countries, every country has their own regulation system to tackle with fraud management. Like some account is banned, some names are banned, some names are fraud, or some terrorist accounts are closed. Okay, so like this, there every bank has their own fraud management system, plus there is a fraud system as in Swift as well. Okay, when while doing these things, if you think find that your payment has been fall into the repair means your payment is not reached to the corresponding party you sent from India, it's not reached to the UK in particular payment. So what is happening between that, that is a investigation of payment is required. So to do the investigation of payment, there is a separate body or separate investigation team is there who do this thing. Now these things also will taken care by AI. We are going to discuss this thing in slide number 15 16 say day of that. Okay, that time investigation, how AI will do the investigation. So I have closely work on that as well. So we'll let you know how can we do that investigation of the part as well. Then after doing the investigation, we have to report the exception that okay, this beneficiary's name was not good, or the beneficiary account was closed, or the beneficiary cannot accept more than payment. If you remember right, nowadays if you are sending payment to I observe these things when he was going to any vendor. Okay, the UPI limits exceeds. He cannot accept more than 1 lakh or 2 lakhs payment per day. So what message will display that when you sending a payment? For example, displays that your credit limit has been reached. You cannot accept more than 2 lakhs of payment per day. Okay, so this is kind of a exception reporting at the end of the at this cycle. So this kind of a report also generating exception reporting. Okay, so these we are going to discuss in detail one by one from accounting to exception reporting. Okay, till now you are clear, Priya, or I am going so fast here?
Yes, it is clear. Yes.
It's clear, right? And Prakash, this information you are aware of this, or this is a new for you?
I'm aware of that,
Aware of it,
but
right? I will refresh
yeah,
it. Don't worry, no worry. I will refresh it.
yeah,
Okay. Okay, now the main concept will start with first upon accounting and reconciliation. Okay, so accounting refit means you are like a balance sheet, profit and loss sheet. Okay, balance sheet in your CA portfolio, but here we have to consider different balance sheet here. So we'll go one down. There is a two important aspects of this balance sheet: liquidity and bank reconciliation. How much liquidity with the particular bank and how much reconciliation happen. Instead of reading the above text, I will directly come to the diagram below. There is a pair who's sitting in India, and there is a pay. Now you have to keep remembering this word payer and pay, and you have to talk in the same language everywhere. So this can be a good impression on you that okay, you know these terminologies. Okay, there is called sender receiver. Okay, sender receiver, and this kind of information you have to keep in mind when we are doing this transfer. Sender receiver, then payee and pay bank and receiver bank. Okay, like this. So we have to consider this
debtor
kind of
and the creditor.
debtor and the creditor if you are talking about ISO 222. Correct, correct, very much correct.
Yes,
Okay, okay. Debtor and the creditor. Okay, this kind of technology terminology you have to use. So what happened if we have balance at pay bank is 150, and you want to send 50 pound or 50 rupees to the beneficiary or pay bank? What will happen? So current balance is 150. You can highlight here, current balance is 150. After deducting 50 euro or 50 pound, the balance is 100. Okay, and fund is transferred from this pay account to the balance. So here now balance is currently balance 10. So once you receive the field 50 balance, your current balance is 60 here, and your current balance is 100 here. So what happened? There is a minus 50 and plus 50, and pay bank is balance is 0. Okay. So after transaction reconciliation is done, both bank account are updated. So here what we have learned here, whenever is in liquidity management, this is a liquidity management. Currently how much balance is there? Balance 10 and balance 150. This is liquidity management here currently. But after the reconciling means after sending the payment, what happen? It will happen, it will be balance only 100 here and balance is 60. This is very very basic concept, but when we learn this ISO and one MT in detail, right? And when you are deducting the charges like bench and hour, that time this concept become very very crucial way to understand. Okay, now it look very easy because we are just starting with very basic things here. Okay, so that's a liquidity manager. So what do this bank will do the reconciliation part here. So depending on the time, whether it's t plus 1 or t plus 2, depending on that it will be transfer the fund. Okay, so currently in India the check system also going to replace by same day only, but initially it was t plus 1 or t plus 2 depending on the settlement cycle and processing of the India. Okay, in RTGS and NEFT is now in India 2 hours batch cycle only, for example I'm saying. But in UK still the debit card payment, it happened for t plus 1 and t plus 2 only. So that case that we can consider here. Okay, so this is a part of reconciliation here. So liquidity management and bank reconciliation. So any doubt here for you, Prakash and Priya, for this screen, this discussion? This is very much simple,
um,
right? because we are doing all these things in daily life as well. How UPI payment is flow, same thing here as well. Okay, the at the end of the day you can see a bank statement that nostro account is debited and the vostro account is credited here. Okay, actual money is not getting transferred. There is a nostro and vostro accounts are there in each and every bank, that only debit and credit happen. Actual money is not getting passed, only messages are getting sent. You understand this concept, right, Prakash? You also?
Yeah, understand. Can
Oh.
you explain the reconciliation again once?
Okay,
Reconciliation means
so
exactly.
okay, so reconciliation is only a calculation of the fund, how much fund has to be sent. That's very concept, basic concept. Okay, reconciliation means at the end of the day, how much money has to be debited and credited, and we have to do addition of that. This simple fundamental reconciliation. So RBI or the clearing systems are involved in that, and that will do the reconciliation. So yesterday we have discussed this one and you was not there, so I will just quickly once again tell you the concept of reconciliation here. Okay, so what happened, I just know explained sometime before. Means bank A is sending to bank B and bank B is sending to bank A. So this process of netting of the how much exactly amount has to be sent from which bank to which bank, it's called a reconciliation or clearing. So there are two concepts of clearing. Netting means you are calculating the actual amount of difference of that, and another is RTGS, real time gross settlement. Whatever the money is there, you directly sending, and with you are not doing the you are not doing the deducting of the payment here. So this is a concept called clearing and clearing. Clearing is a reconcile of netting process only, means actual calculation. So don't consider now simple as there are two banks are involved. There can be thousands of banks are connected by in RBI in India. Okay, so after that reconciling is happening. So it is a broad scenario. At the end of the day, that RBI will ask, or the central bank system in RBI will ask that, okay, HDFC Bank has to send 1000 crore to ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank has to send 190 crore to Bank C, is cooperative bank. So this can be happen reconciliation, and this is completely conducted by a authorization batches are involved in that. Okay, so actual calculation of the amount how much money has to send by bank A to bank B or bank B to bank C, this is a reconciling amount. This can happen by end of the day, or this can happen by throughout the day also, depending on the how much batch cycle is there. Now you get some idea on that reconciliation. And actual transfer of the amount is done is called settlement. Reconciliation is finding out how much money has to be transferred. In here case we are transferring 50 pound. Okay, this is called reconciliation, and the actual transfer of this called settlement. Okay, so this is settled now, this both transactions are settled, so this is called settlement. So this will help you in future understanding of reconciliation. And okay, so I will read out this thing now. Bank reconciliation is done by matching the cash balance on the balance sheet to the corresponding amount on the bank settlement. Respective banks perform the settlement process in end of the day, either T plus 1 or T plus 2. Means I just now explain, this is not applicable in India now, this is in UK, but currently India same day processing is happening and we are settling the funds. Okay, so this is called accounting reconciliation process. Alright, so I'm going to a next. Okay, this is very good diagram. 90% of the question in any interview is conducted on this uh, this topic only. Okay, and if you explain this diagram neat and clean, I'm going to repeat you n number of times this diagram in every session if you want. But if you remember, Priya, I asked you this question that can you explain means end to end. I think I asked you in the first session. Okay, this is payment transaction life cycle. I told you that time, if you are working on the payment transaction life cycle, you have to explain 5 processes: payment initiation, authorization, validation, clearing, settlement, and reporting. So you have to explain this thing first. If anybody asks you that can you explain the payment transaction life cycle, payment initiation, authorization, validation, clearing, and settlement and reporting. To support this document, you have to explain this as well. So I am going to discuss with you this as well now. Okay, about this debtor bank, creditor, and creditor bank. So these are the Priya. This is the concept of ISO 222. They call debtor means sending bank, creditor receiving person, sender person, receiver person. So instead of bank, now there is a new terminology called agent. Okay. So before that, I would just like to know that who are the attendees of this event, so I can confirm from this. So Manu and Amit, actually this is from today is a paid session. So you like to go for paid as well, or you are comfortable with unpaid? So if you like that, I cannot continue from today. So 2 days was the buffer for that. Do you like to go for the paid session from today? There is a 22 more sessions are happening on this one. Amit and Manu, if you are listening to me, are you listening to me?
Hello.
Yeah, are you listening to me? If you are not, then I can.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Please go ahead. Sorry, sorry. I thought it is a free session.
yeah, so if you are not free, then I can remove from the meeting.
Yes, yes. You can do it. Thank you so much.
Yes, okay. And same thing from Amit, you as well. Amit, will you go from yourself or shall I remove you? I will remove you from the meeting. Okay. So, so whenever any question is asked like that, can you explain the end-to-end transaction life cycle? Okay, that time you have to explain all this. I'm going to repeat tomorrow also this one. Okay, and whenever you want, I will repeat it, because this question will ask you in any interview of the BAs, that can you explain end-to-end transaction life cycle of ISO 222 or MT message as well. Okay, so here literally, if you are doing a virtual interview, I mean so online interview, you can explain verbally, but if you are going for offline interview, that time you can draw this diagram and explain them. Okay, this is the same diagram you have to draw. I'm going to share with you the presentation as well, don't worry on that part, but you have to draw the same diagram with them and you can explain. So you say there is a debtor who is the sender of the payment, like you and me, the debtor bank, your bank. There is a CSM, clearing and settlement, like RBI, Fedwire, BACS or CHAPS or Target 2. There is a center. There is a creditor bank. His creditor bank here. Then you are a creditor here. Okay, the last person who is receiving the money. Okay, so you have to explain like that. Do we have a payment initiation? After payment initiation, what we are doing, we are doing payment initiation. After that, clearing. Okay, let me close this session. Okay, okay, payment initiation. So payment initiation is paid by the payer who has initiated payment using internet banking channels, like mobile banking, front end mobile banking, or you could directly approach to the bank and you can pay from here. So here the messages are involved. So now what we are doing now, Priya, we are going to discuss only in ISO 222 terminology, so it will give a more impression good to a interviewer that you knows everything, or a client for you giving the interview. So instead of talking MT101, we'll talk this as pain 001 or pain 002. Correct, Prakash? So
Yes,
we will
yes.
discuss on pain 001 and pain 002. So here you can mention that a debtor initiated a payment with the help of internet banking or mobile banking or offshore banking. The message is generated, it is called pain 001. So it's called PAIN. Pain means payment, PA payment, IN means initiation, and 001 means you are initiating payment from a front end channel. Very simple. Priya, are you getting this?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
okay.
you can stop me anywhere. Okay, Priya, if you don't have background on this, you can stop me anytime. Okay, and I will not hesitate to repeat as well till the time you are getting confirmation. Okay. Sorry. So debtor initiated a payment is called message called pain 001. By the way, don't worry on this how this pain 001 look like. I am going to explain a detailed session of 1 hour on how pain 001 look like, pain 002, pain 008, sorry not pain, pack 008 message. I am going to explain everything. I have so many PDFs of this to explain you. Okay, so don't worry on that part. So what happened? Debtor initiated a payment. It is called pain 001. Pain 001 message is converted to by a debtor to a debtor bank. It is called, it is converted to a debtor bank is called PAX 008 message. So there is a mapping between them. Pain 001 like MT101 MT101 is converted to MT103. In the same fashion, PAN001 message is converted to a PAX008 message. So what is PAX now? It's called payment cash settlement. Payment clearing and settlement is called PAX. So don't worry on this everything. I am going to explain you detail all these parts in everything in coming session, not for today. So in a simple language, MT101 is initiated by Data Bank. Priya sitting on her laptop. She initiate from her ICICI Bank 1,000 rupees. So that message which is initiated from her bank, it is called MT101 or PAN001. Till now you are clear, Priya?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So that message your bank, it is reached to your bank. Your bank
Mm.
automatically convert it into a MT103 message, MT103 or PAN 0012 PAX 8 message. Okay, so payment clearing and settlement message called PAX 008 message. Okay, so it contains same information like your details, your data, your details, your creditor details, how much amount you are sending, what is the date, which currency you are using, which currency you want to send it, the sender's detail, the sender's address, receiver's address, everything is stored in that particular message, and which day you want to send, that also stored, and what is the currency conversion date you agreed on, that how much fees and charges accepting or not, everything is mentioned. For example, you are sending payment to Nigeria and you are initiating payment from ICICI Bank. Your ICICI Bank don't have relationship with Nostro and Vostro relationship with Nigeria Bank. What will happen? So we are going to involve one more bank in the picture. This is called correspondent banking. Don't worry on this terminology which I am discussing with you now. I am going to discuss it in detail in coming session. But just for your knowledge, I am just repeating this thing. If you don't have relationship, that time corresponding banking is involved. So this is called corresponding banking, and Bank of America will come into the picture as a correspondent bank. Okay, I'm going to explain detail, not now. So this is also one of the part where we don't have relationship with debtor bank and creditor bank. But in this case now we have direct relationship, and same thing you have to explain. There is a debtor who initiated a payment from his front end channel, either PAN 001. Okay, it's converting into outgoing. Okay, by the way, we are not going to move to next session today. We are going to focus on this only. We are going to next 20 minutes we are going to discussing on this only, till the time you don't recognize everything here, because these only messages we are going to study as a part of ISO 222 in coming session in detailed manner. This is a data bank which is sending outgoing pack 008. It will come to the CSM. CSM means clearing settlement and management system. In CSM, for example, outgoing pack set message is come to CSM and they found that account is closed, or the outgoing message is contain the terrorism group activity, or it is having insufficient balance, or there are n number of things in CSM. So what will happen? Instead of going to the creditor bank, CSM itself reject this message. CSM is clearing and settlement is RBI will reject this message. So the rejected message is called PAX 002. PAX 002 will generate in n number of reasons. So this is there are so many reasons, there are more than 100 reasons are there, but you have to just explain that if account is closed in CSM, or there is insufficient balance for that account, then a PAX 00 send back to the account holder debtor insufficient balance. So this is the one scenario, this is a one use case of here till here. Payment send, outgoing pack set and rejection. Are you clear till here? This is a one flow.
Prashant, actually, I have one doubt here. So who will reject the payment? It is
It is getting
should.
rejected in a CSM. Okay, there are n number of scenarios. We are going to have a separate session for PAX 002 message. That time I will explain you. There are hundreds of reasons which will PAX 002 is rejected. Okay, that time I will show you. But for time being, you have to understand that PAX 002 not only reject the message, it accept as well. Okay,
Hmm.
it contains in both scenarios rejection and acceptance. So this is like the acknowledgement of your payment, it is received by CSM or not. This is a acknowledgement. This is called acknowledgement, either positive or negative acknowledgement. Are you good till here?
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, and don't worry on this part, I am going to repeat this diagram n number of times because you have to explain the same diagram everywhere. Okay, and this will give more weightage because this make your career, this diagram, trust me. Okay, so what about Prakash, you are you clear till here? This is the use case, you must be aware of this thing, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, fine.
Yeah, well,
Okay, great. So this is outgoing pack set message and it is going acknowledgement of this. So I just mentioned reject here, this can be accept as well. Okay, both accept and reject message. Now we are moving from this payment, now it is come to CSM. CSM done calculation and it is find that beneficiary is there, beneficiary is a good person, it is having sufficient balance in his account, now we are processing it. So outgoing pack set message from the debtor bank and incoming message to a creditor bank here. Now okay, so this is incoming pack set message, the whatever message we have sent, same message we do the calculation in CSM and it is sent to incoming to pack set. So CSM what will do, it will make a data entry, okay, this payment has been sent and it will keep record on this, somebody in the middle, right, somebody has doing the recording of this. So this CSM, so this incoming payment come to the creditor bank and creditor bank will note this, it will do the it will do the perfect calculation, the deducting of charges and all this stuff, it will take your charges and it will send this payment to the creditor. I mean to say it will send a message to a creditor in the form of these empty messages. What are these empty messages? Allow me some time, I will explain now itself. But it will give a creditor message that in simple language it will get SMS to a creditor, your account has been credited with so and so amount by this person. Like UPI payment will do, same here as well. Okay, and it is a incoming packet message, it will go to creditor bank and it will creditor bank to your, it will credit to your account here. Okay, but this is all in layman language that you are getting SMS on this. What ideally happen in Swift, there are a different messaging system in empty message series, it is called MT 900 series, MT 940, 950, 910, 900. Okay, and corresponding message system in ISO 222 is called accounting reporting, it's called CAMT 52 account report, it's sent throughout the day or as per the batch system. Then is a statement advice, how much is credited, and one more is called CAMT 54 direct and credit notification. So these are the three messages generated. So don't worry about this part, what is the function of this, what is the function of this, we are going to see in detailed manner each and every messages with use cases. But for time being you have to understand that after send message received by the creditor, creditor will receive depending on what is his ask, account report, statement advice or credit or debit notification. So these are CAMT 52, CAMT 53 and CAMT 54. Okay, so now what we have learned here, we have learned that payment is initiated. Okay, initiation of payment is called pain messages, payment is processing and clearing and settlement is called pax messages, and reporting of the message called cash management, actual transferring the fund is called cash management, CAMT is CAMT. Okay, are we good here, Priya? Till here we are good. Definitely it's not going to digest in a single day, but at least from my explanation point of view, are we good here? Now not able to hear you.
Yes, yes, it is clear.
uh,
Okay.
Prashant,
Prakash.
here we can consider it is in a 910 or 950 messages, these
Yes,
camped 052.
yes. Here 910,
So,
950, 940 or 900, 910. So there also mapping of that. You have to remember mapping as well. We'll guide you that as well when do a migration, when we study migration.
okay, okay.
Okay, I have separate slides for migration as well. Don't worry on that part.
So I have only doubt here. Here
Hmm.
it is 52, 53, 54. But we are, when you consider as a receiver bank, so we are using only 910 or 950.
See, currently we are
On.
approaching a hybrid mode, depending on the banks who has migrated or not. So currently we are accepting both input, but I am just
Okay.
telling you
Okay.
from the interview point of view or client discussion point of view. Here only you have to
Mhm.
explain either MT or MX. Okay, if you explain
Okay.
both, it definitely confuse yourself also, because this diagram will not be there in front of you that time. Okay, when you're
Yeah.
explaining. Okay, so it will confuse. So either you have to explain in MT or MX, but I will prefer you have to explain MX only, because this is only currently booming ISO 222, and it will give a good impression. Same diagram. Okay, so till
Yes.
now
Yes.
we have see only one flow: pane 1, packs 8, reject or accept. There is a one use case. Another use case is pane 1, pack set, acknowledgement positive, pack 0 not reject, accept, and then it is moved to a settlement, clearing a settlement, and money is credited to creditor. So this is a second flow we have studied here. One flow is reject, one flow is accept here. Okay, so till now we are, and depending on the creditor, maybe one flow, two flow, three flow, but you can say only two flow we have seen till date. Okay, now there is another one flow which is very important. Okay, you have to explain that as well. Whenever you are sending a payment and by mistake you think that payment shouldn't have sent, it should have it should have cancelled payment, or it's a duplicate payment, or the payment has been sent by mistake. Okay, in that case debtor will initiate a message called CAMT 55. Okay, it's not mentioned here CAMT 55, but data will initiate a message called CAMT 55. It is converting to CAMT 56 in data bank. Okay, very simple. So that message of cancellation of payment, it is called CAMT 56. It is called recalling of a payment. Okay, debtor has sent the payment debtor bank, and it is called recalling of the payment. So recalling of the payment is called here nothing but your cancellation of the payment. Okay, if the message has been sent is called CAMT 56. So if you're, I don't want to confuse every time discussing on the empty messages, but the empty messages which is responsible for this called MT 195 message. So M90 195 is cancellation of the payment. It is same of CAMT 56, recalling the message. Okay, what will happen after sending this CAMT 56? It contains details of the transaction sent on PAX 008. It contains the message of UATR, payment amount reference, everything UATR. Okay, and then via CSM it is read to a creditor bank. Now creditor bank will ask the creditor. Okay, the cancellation request has been sent by the debtor. Will you want to accept it or reject it? Okay, you want to accept it means whenever it is accepted means you have to send the payment return back. Okay, so returning of payment back of this message, it is called PAX 004 return, which is exactly vice versa of this incoming PAX set message. The debtor become creditor, creditor become debtor here. Okay, that's the only thing. So there is a positive scenario whether creditor bank and creditor accepted the payment to return back, and it will done the reverse flow now from PAX 4 to it will come to your it will come to debtor bank, and debtor bank will again generate CAMT 52, 53 and 54 depending on the which statement the debtor is required, because now debtor become creditor and creditor become debtor. So here is now debtor and here is the creditor. Okay, vice versa, because we are initiating payment back. We are initiating, I am going to repeat you for n number of time prayer, don't worry. Daily I can repeat if you want to this, because this is very very good example of he show that you know understand ISO 222. Okay, this only you have to explain in every interviews or in client discussions everywhere. Okay, so that's why I'm repeating one more time. And along with this is has been sent a positive response. Okay, this is called pax 00. This is both are the same. It is sent a positive response of this, that your payment has been acknowledged. Okay, it will send to your debtor and creditor both. Along with that along with that it also generate one more message is called CAMT 29. So CAMT 29 message, it is now currently in our scenario is positive message. So you can mention here positive. Okay, so there is a third flow now where CAMT56 has been sent message. It is sent and this payment is accepted for returning back. Positive response has been sent and it can send back the payment return message. Okay, this is one flow now current, but along with that it is sending a CAMT29 positive message. So negative I will tell you now, this is the next flow. Okay, but till now we are only having a positive message. Till now are we clear?
Mm, uh, Actually, we cancel the message. What will be the return message? Only facts for positive or both can be 29 positive.
So we are cancelling the payment using CAMT56. CAMT56 used to cancel the payment which is already been settled here. Okay, outgoing
Mm,
pack set message. So by sending this message of cancellation record, right, there is a response should be generated from the creditor bank. So if the creditor bank and creditor has accepted the payment of cancellation, they will send the money back to the debtor. Okay,
mm,
so the reverse flow which is happening now, it is called pax 004 return message. Okay, till now you're clear.
mm,
Okay,
yes,
opposite of this, opposite of
mm,
this it will be here. Okay, when you are sending the opposite message, your creditor become your here, you know, debtor now, who is initially sending a payment, now sending payment is now this one. He is the sending payment
mm,
debtor here, and he is the receiving payment become creditor. The creditor bank become debtor bank and debtor bank will become the creditor bank. Okay, till now you're clear about this message.
yes,
Okay, and when you are sending payment back, the debtor, the creditor also should receive the notification that your payment has been reached.
mm,
So like here we are also sending, depending on the scenarios, either CAMT 52, 53 and 54. Okay, depending on that which scenario which message has been received, so depending on that it will receive. Clear till here now?
yes,
Okay, now this is a positive flow. In negative flow, CAMT 56 has been sent by the debtor, but but the creditor bank not accepted to reverse the payment or return the payment. So in that case, the creditor bank will only send a message is called CAMT 29 with negative response, that we are not sending your payment back, we are not recalling the transaction, we don't authorize it, or a number of reasons. Okay, so this is a negative flow of of sending back the payment. So here we have seen now four scenario here. So if you explain these four scenarios right perfectly, you are halfway done of the interviews or any client discussion. I'm 100% sure this, because here you are covering all the messages, here you are covering all the scenarios, here you are covering all the use cases, and the user also, the bank also, or the client also know that you know all the concepts of this payment happening here. Okay, so these are the flows from up down and down up, both the ways. Okay, um are we good here till here now?
For me, still confusing that
Go ahead, go ahead. What you
camping 29.
what you can do, you can repeat with, you can just tell me what a confusion happening, I will I will correct it or I will try to explain it.
Okay, so I'm going to cancel my payment. So I'll send camping 56. Then, now the creditor bank will be the debtor bank. So they will send one, consider the positive case. So they will send only packs 4 or packs 4 positive plus CAMT 29 positive.
Correct, correct, correct.
Both they will send. Okay.
Both they will
I-
send.
Okay. In a negative case, also they will send both or
No,
only
no,
CAMT
no, no,
29.
correct, only CAMT 29, not PAX
Okay.
4. Okay,
Mm, okay.
okay, a negative case one. Okay, so you got it now, right? What exactly we are
Mm,
discussing? Yes, great. So positive response. And what about Prakash, you did you understand this flow now completely?
Yes, yes, Prashant.
Okay, great. So I always say this flow is very important, and this flow will help you to crack any discussions. Oh, sorry, I supposed to open. And just for reference, when you are studying this in at your home, anyway, I will send you after this. Okay, don't want to waste your time now. Okay, so this is the flow of your debtor bank, creditor bank, and you have to explain with this help of this. First you have to explain this one, then you have to jump and explain this one. Okay, this is very simple to explain, and just take only 30 seconds to explain this one, but explain very much detail, almost take 2-3 minutes to explain this cash management system of fax messages. Okay, now we have total 15 slides to extend. We have done now only 3. I will take one more slide today. Okay, there is a concept called fees and charges. We'll take that as well today. Okay, so whenever you are sending payment, right, that time bank also want to earn with that. Okay, they are not doing charity for this, they are also doing some business part of this. So how can they do that? They are asking some fees and maintenance fees. Okay, while doing the transfer they will charge transaction fees. Okay, maintenance fees, account maintenance fees. Okay, when you're now more than 3 transactions you cannot do with ATM, so ATM has some fees. So this kind of fees they will charge you. Okay, and not only this fees, but fees when you are transferring for CBPR countries, the currency transaction also, right? The, for example, 1 pound equal to 110 rupees, so they will give you only 109 rupees or 8 rupees only, 2 rupees commission they will charge for you. So this kind of things bank will charge from you depending on the which transaction, which agreement is done between two banks. Okay, this is not a user concept now. This is between two banks, for example HDFC bank and Lloyds bank. How, what is the transaction ratio they have maintained, or what is the charges they have declared with each other. So it depend on that. There are three category of the charges is there in MT103. Now we starting discussion with MT103, and what is the corresponding PAX ISO 222, that also we discuss. And don't worry Priya, we are going to see with real time example on this one. This is just a theoretical part now this today. What is the fees and charges? Okay, so there is a, in field 71A we are going to see that as well in detailed manner. There is a field 71A. Okay, yeah, it is in a field 71A in MT103 message. There is a charge clause is mentioned there. Depending on the charge clause is dependent who is going to pay the fees, who is going to pay the fees. So that is also mentioned in MT103 messages. Okay, so depending on that there are total three different types of charge clause. Our means who is sending the bank, who is sending the bank and sending person of the, for example you are sending money from India to UK, and Priya is sending to Prashant in UK sitting in London. So you are sending 1000 rupees, but you are saying that no, 1000 rupees I am, Priya is going to bear the charge for this sending. Okay, and the bank fees is for example 10 rupees. So what Priya will do, Priya will say okay, deduct from my amount. So ideally 10 rupees is going to be deduct from your account. Okay, you are total 1000 rupees, and Prashant will get only 990 rupees. So what happened here, our means it is deducted at your end only, and you have paid the charges. Till now you are clear? This is called our, this charge clause is called our now only. Okay, and corresponding our clause is called debt, means debtor. It's called debtor in your pax 8 message. Don't worry on this part. These are anyways going to be removed now, so we'll concentrate on this first two parts only. So this is called your details of charges is R, and is called debtor. Okay. uh, are you familiar with this word before, Priya? Hour and debtor.
Yes.
First time you're able to hear, right? Okay, fine. So these are the three terminologies called hour, beneficiary and share. Okay. So our means the payment, who is initiating a payment is going to bear the charges. Beneficiary means person who is receiving the amount is going to bear the charges. Sha means sharing. £5, 5 rupees you are going to share, 5 rupees I am going to share. So this kind of a charges has been distributed. This is decided on the bank level. It's an agreement between two banks. There is no individual contribution is there on deciding of these things. Okay, it can be decided by the banks, not by the individual. Okay, so that's a relationship how they maintain with each other's banks depending on that. Okay, so this is called our, their equivalent name is called debtor in ISO 222. Equivalent name is called beneficiary. Here it's called creditor, who is receiving the payment. Cred means receiving, debt means who is deducting the account, and sharing, here also sharing only the now they have changed it to four characters should be there, that's why it's share, cred and debt. Okay, so these are the three different there is a one more charges here which is not for study with us. I am going to discuss with you when we are learning ISO 222 that time. Okay. All right, so what we are done now till now, end user can choose whether the fees can be deducted which. Okay, end user can also choose whether their fees should be paid by sender or beneficiary. This is place of control. Don't worry on this part now. Local transfer fees depending upon the RBI regulatory policies, who is payment investigation integration team, not worry on this part as well. Overdraft transfer fees, this also you don't have to consider. Shift, only you have to consider that. Now at the initial level, depending on the bank, what are the or Ben or Shah, depending on the three you have to consider. Okay, what we are doing, we are going to stop today here. Okay, and basis of that we will continue. We have so many things to discuss from tomorrow, exception handling and so many things. So what we'll do now, we are going to stop here and we are going to quickly recap on this what extent we learned yesterday, and we'll start from tomorrow maybe 9 o'clock only, or depending I will ask you before, and then we can discuss that as well. Is it good, Priya, Prakash?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes. Yes.
I am going to share with both the documents with you, Prakash, and we just go through it as well. Okay, anyways, your
Yeah.
basics is already clear, so you don't have